Okay, so it's been 5 weeks since I planted the seed on my renovation here, and it's looking pretty good. It's green. I do have some areas that are struggling, and the seed kind of got washed away right in here, so I will have to put a little bit more seed down. But I need to be fertilizing this, and I'm going to fertilize this probably once a week at about 1/4 pound of nitrogen every single week. And so I've got this bag of triple 16 right here. This is a 16-16-16 blend. I want to put about 1/4 pound of nitrogen per every 1,000 square feet. On a regular application of fertilizer, you probably want to put about anywhere from 1/2 pound to 1 pound of nitrogen on your regularly scheduled feedings. And how you want to figure that out is you take the weight of the bag. So this is a 40-pound bag. So you take 40 pounds times the number of nitrogen, which would be the first number here on the bag, 16-16-16, times 0.16, because it's 16% nitrogen. So this bag has 16% nitrogen. So 16% times 40 is 6.4 pounds. So there's 6.4 pounds of nitrogen in this bag. So I want to put down about 1/4 pound of nitrogen per 1,000. I need the phosphorus as well, the middle number for the root growth. So if I put this whole bag down over 8,000 feet, that's going to give me 6.4 divided by 8. It'll give me 0.8 of a pound of nitrogen. So if I divide that by 3, if I do 1/3 of this bag, that'll give me 0.26 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000. Oh, so what's that all about? That's weird. So I know there's another way you can calculate the pounds of fertilizer and the pounds of nitrogen per 1,000, and you can figure out exactly how many pounds, but the way I do it is I just figure out how many pounds of nitrogen are in the bag, and then I figure out my square footage and figure out exactly how many pounds of nitrogen I want to put down, and then I just do the ratios. So after figuring that all up, I figured I need to do 1/3 of a bag, and this said it will feed up to 6,400 square feet, which sounds about right actually. So I need to do 1/3 of a bag. So if this is 1/3, this is 1/3. So I need to leave about right about at the bottom of this lettering right there. That's how much I need to leave in the bag. So you could weigh this out as well if you want to be precise. Be 13 pounds. So I told myself I needed to put in the amount of fertilizer 1/3 of a bag, about to the center or the bottom of this lettering. So I have in theory put too much in there. Take a little bit out. So there, it's about to there, so that's what I'm going to go with. So I've got the fertilizer in the hopper here, and the amount of fertilizer is just below this grate here, this screen. So I should be able to remember for next time if I'm going to do triple 16 over this given 8,000 feet, just put it right below that screen there, and that should be enough. So as for the fertilizer hopper setting, I'm going to set this thing pretty low. There's a scale between 4 and 30. I'm going to set it to about 1/4 of the way open, probably about an 8 or 9. The idea is I want to spread this fertilizer evenly over the 8,000 feet. And so the best way I figured out how to do that is to put it on a really low setting and go over it multiple times in multiple directions, and that will ensure that you get an even spread. So I'm doing 1/4 pound of nitrogen. I'm going to try to do that weekly. So here we go. So the other way to know is you just watch the hopper and you see how much is being spread. And if you're only like halfway through your spreading pattern or wherever you're going to spread, and you've got more than half of your product gone, that's a bad deal. So you need to either walk faster or you need to dial the fertilizer spreading back. So, or the setting back. So you just need to watch the hopper, and eventually you get the feel for it and know just about how much to put down and how it feels as it's coming out the hopper. So that actually is a really good setting, but the agitator is not working very well because the hole is so small, and so that it's kind of getting clogged up, and so I'm having to bounce it a little bit to get it to come out. So I can either crank the setting up, which I will probably do just a little bit. So, or with this Let's Go spreader, you can get what is called a perma-green agitator or something. It's a little agitator that you replace the existing agitator. It has these little spikes that go in the holes like this, and it turns and it breaks up the fertilizer and makes it much easier to spread. It's an awesome little product, and my other spreader actually has one, but this one does not have one yet. I do have one, I just have not installed it yet. So I think what I'm gonna do is just bump it up from a 9 to about an 11, right there, 10 and a half, and try my luck at that. There, so the 10 and a half setting, it feels right, and it's coming out at a good rate. So now I should be able to go over 2 or 3 times in opposing directions so I can get it spread evenly. So it has been a long time since I used this spreader without the perma-green agitator. It used to be called the breakthrough agitator, but I think they're calling it the perma-green. And that thing, now that I'm using this spreader without it, is a must. I will definitely be installing that really soon. It is a must. So doing the spoon feeding is going to really push the grass. I'm going to do 1/4 pound to 1/3 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 once a week, and it should help the grass to take off and to start filling in. Dry spot right there, pretty bad. I've got some dry areas and some spots that are not coming in as good as they should, but pushing it with the nitrogen. Pretty much all the cow prints and the bicycle tracks are still here. What is that? I'd sure like to know what that is. That does not look like a good grass. It's not bluegrass because it's not that wide. Still have all the cow prints and the bicycle track prints. I haven't really done much with that. It's been a week. It's just so sopping wet out here. It's hard to come on the lawn, but I have to keep it wet so it'll germinate and grow. Sand will be in my future in the spring when I can get this grass grown. So that was pretty well the ideal setting right there. 10 and a half for 8,000 feet with the 1616 going in 2 different directions, overlapping each other. So that worked out just right. The hopper is totally empty. The only thing I'm going to do differently next time is install the perma-green agitator so I can get better distribution, and so it will come out of the hopper better. It just agitates much better. So that's going to do it for this trip. The next application I need to make is going to be in a week. Another 1/4 pound of nitrogen per 1,000. Want to do that once a week, possibly 2 times a week. Maybe not 2 times at a 1/4 pound, but I just want to start laying it on heavy, and it'll make the grass really kind of thicken up. Next application I need to do is tenacity. I did that at the initial seeding, and I need to do it again. It only lasts about 3 weeks, so it's been 5 weeks. I really need to go down with that again. Do it about 3 ounces per acre of the rate, not per 1,000, per acre. So I need to work on my paver situation over here, so that's what I'm doing. Kind of letting this renovation kind of go by the wayside for just a minute so I can work on my pavers project. that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.